Hello everyone! Today I'm excited to talk to you about Delinea Privileged Remote Access, Delinea's browser-based VPN-less remote access solution with least privilege controls. Privileged remote access is elegant and powerful, and as you see in the diagram, it sits in the middle and it isolates users on the left from your sensitive resources on the right. Its core function is to establish remote login sessions to servers and network devices, whether they're on premises or in the cloud. As part of the cloud-native Delinea platform, Privileged Remote Access provides centralized authorization for these remote sessions. It validates users, applies MFA for identity assurance, and transparently injects login credentials, so you eliminate the risks of sharing privileged credentials with the user. Also, since it's VPN-less, you eliminate the vulnerabilities, the risks, and the overhead associated with VPNs. Privileged Remote Access enhances usability while lowering maintenance costs. Zero dependence on local workstation clients or back-end servers streamlines the experience for users. It also reduces overhead for IT. It's a managed service, so IT benefits from a minimum infrastructure footprint and reduced maintenance. Through the Delinea platform, Privileged Remote Access is integrated with Secret Server, Delinea's enterprise vault solution used to secure and rotate your credentials and to monitor live remote sessions, all from the same UI. All this enables you to confidently embrace third-party vendors, contractors, and a remote workforce with the right amount of security that also balances productivity. So here are the top 3 MVP benefits of Delinea's Privileged Remote Access. Your users get access from anywhere, as long as they have a browser and access to the internet. In other words, no client apps lock them into a specific laptop, so they can respond quickly to emergency trouble tickets. Only approved users get access to the Privileged Remote Access UI, and once they're logged in, you limit what downstream resources they can see and log into. Role-based access control, MFA, least privilege enforcement, and workflows for just-in-time access requests enables you to align with best practices like zero trust and zero standing privileges. Privileged Remote Access isolates user workstations from your internal systems. No VPN means no direct network attachment and hence no risk of spreading malware from an unclean user device. Also, no depositing the user on a jump host where they might access the broader network. Privileged Remote Access puts the user directly onto the target system. Delinea's Privileged Remote Access is quick and easy. You log into your Delinea platform tenant, pick your credential, and click a button to launch the session. Then you do what you need to do in the browser, and when you're done, Privileged Remote Access tidies everything up. So you can't get more seamless than that. Alright, let's get into the demo. Now in this demo, I'm simply going to play the role of a remote user who needs to log into a Linux box and a Windows box. It's an emergency break glass scenario, so I'm going to log in using vaulted superuser accounts in both cases. So first, I'll log into the Delinea platform with my credentials. Now I'll navigate to the Secret Server Vault page and search for my Windows account secret. I'll select this server, pick the secret I want to use to log in, click on its launch icon, and choose the Privileged Remote Access launch option instead of the RDP client option. Up pops a new browser tab with a secure remote RDP session into that Windows instance that's hosted, in this case, in Microsoft Azure. And that's all there is to it. I can do my work, accomplish typical remote access tasks. And back in the Delinea platform, I'll now search for my Linux target system. Now for this system, there's only one secret credential available to me. So, similar to before, I'll click the launch icon and again select the Privileged Remote Access launch option from the list. I now have an SSH connection to that box that happens to be hosted in AWS this time. Now earlier, I mentioned a benefit of Secret Server and Privileged Remote Access integration, being one place to manage it all as well as monitor live sessions. I have another browser window logged into this Delinea platform, and from the session review page, you see that Linux session is shown here as still being live. So you can monitor this live session, again from the same UI. If I go back to the actual session and perform some actions, you'll see those actions reflected in the live monitor window. So I'll just run some sample commands so you can see the monitored session. It's very, very close to real time. And then finally on this page, you'll notice the D icon in the top right. This is the Delinea icon, and when you click on it, you get access to some quality of life capabilities that people are familiar with when they're doing remote access in this kind of fashion. Now, before I wrap up, I want to highlight a few observations from that demo. First, I initially logged into the Delinea platform using a browser, so no dependence on my corporate laptop or a VPN client. Once logged in, my visibility to credentials as well as what remote servers I can log into is restricted based on Delinea roles. Credential passwords were not revealed. The 2 remote sessions I established were presented through my browser, even though the downstream protocols were actually RDP for Windows and SSH for Linux. Also, since we're not using a VPN, we're not physically joined to the target networks, AWS and Azure in my example. This avoids the potential spread of viruses or malware from my laptop to the servers, and related to that, IT doesn't need to install management software on my laptop, such as Cisco NAC. Other benefits of not using a VPN include stronger, more fine-grained access control for remote sessions, and of course, cost reduction by reducing the number of VPN licenses. Now, unlike using a VPN, here you can keep your virtual private clouds private. Avoid poking holes in the firewall that will expose your internal systems to external threats. And internal, vendors, and other third-party users, they have a single UI from which to access secret server secrets to establish privileged remote access service sessions and to do live monitoring of those sessions. Finally, note that I was surgically deposited on that target server instead of a VPN jump host that can expose the user or a cybercriminal to the broader physical network. When I log out, the session is terminated, and there's no lingering remote network connectivity to worry about. You can benefit from Delinea Privileged Remote Access in many ways. Its clean and streamlined process for users improves productivity and the user experience, along with stronger security, flipping on its head that old aphorism of security at the expense of productivity. Now, a quick note on the last bullet. Delinea has introduced a new capability that leverages AI to automatically scan session recordings to detect anomalous activity and alert. Having AI analyze lots of privileged activities that are frankly impossible for humans to do at scale, it'll help you react more quickly to incidents and reduce adversary dwell time. So as you can see, Privileged Remote Access provides a lot of benefits for new and existing customers with none of the vulnerabilities of VPNs and other traditional remote access solutions. My name is Tony Golding. Thanks very much indeed for your time.